Welcome back to Actions Speak Louder Than Words, a little sublet of the Hunger for Knowledge podcast, something I just do on my own little short videos. Today I'm going to be talking about Trump. I do not believe in either party. I believe they're one party. But you have to identify that what's going on. I think part of this whole Trump thing, which you see that today now, probably not going to get indicted now. But this big storm of all this, everybody getting angry, we're going to protest, and, left versus right, and whoever's in charge is grasping at straws at this point. I believe the banking system, they're trying to cover up, distract us from the banking system, the economy failing, from things happening to people, from the medical procedure that we're not allowed to talk about. You know what I'm saying. And there's a lot of things going on. And what's scary is if you need to bring this up as a distraction, that's a pretty big distraction. You're trying to pull everybody away from everything else, which is a little scary. But it's also because it's very hypocritical if you think about it. Because you remember when the Russian dossier was such a big thing and we all argued about that for about a year? Well, it wasn't that long ago that the federal election regulators fined the Democratic National Committee and Hillary Clinton for making up the dossier and using donated funds to do so. So now remember, Trump is supposedly getting indicted for using campaign funds to pay off Stormy Daniels. Let me understand this. We've indicted Trump, supposedly, or he was about to get indicted. And now all of a sudden, we're not indicting him, but we let Hillary Clinton just stroll through without getting... I haven't heard one word about anybody trying to indict Hillary Clinton for using campaign funds for the Russian dossier, this thing that was a way bigger issue than anything Trump did with Stormy Daniels. I could give two shits what Trump did with Stormy Daniels. Don't care. Who cares? But this thing with the Russian dossier, well, we're not going to indict her. I mean, it's a little silly. I mean, how many times did they try and impeach Donald Trump? I can't even remember how many times. I mean, if he woke up on the wrong side of the bed, they're trying to impeach him. I mean, it's pretty simple. Like, it seems like one side, although, like I said, I don't believe there's a side. I believe there's one group of people. I believe there's a side on the people because we're fighting with left and right, but the side of the politicians are always on the same side. And that side is to line their pockets with money and control and power. That's all they care about. They don't care about... It's like football players, right? They're in the game. They're trying to take each other's head off. But after the game, they're giving each other jerseys. They're swapping jerseys. It's the same thing. When the video camera's on and they're showing Senate arguing to each other, they're at each other's head. They're trying to, yell at each other and argue with each other, make the other side look worse than their side. And then after the camera's off and they're in the back room, they're slapping each other five and swapping jerseys. That's what they're doing. So, I mean, it's a little ridiculous. I mean, it's not a little ridiculous. It's a lot ridiculous. And it's the same story. Hypocrisy everywhere. Corruption everywhere. So, why isn't Hillary Clinton being charged with something? I don't really understand. I mean, look at Joe Biden. They tried to impeach Donald Trump for a phone call to Zelensky. The guy that is now... the guy that is now the savior of the Ukraine for the same people that wanted to indict Trump for talking to him. Yeah, makes no sense. But Joe Biden, when he was vice president, there's plenty of videos. You can look it up. I'll put a link in the description so everybody can watch Joe Biden threaten the DA of the Ukraine because he was investigating Joe Biden's son. He threatened to not send aid to the Ukraine. I think it was $7 billion. Back then we were sending aid to freaking Ukraine. Ridiculous. threatened to not send that aid. This is when he was vice president. Threatened not to send the aid unless they dropped the investigation on his son, because his son worked for an oil company. Well, his son, I don't think he did any work for the oil company, but Burisma. It's very simple. These are facts. It's not. There's no real argument for this stuff. There's a video of Joe Biden saying these things. Like I said, I'll put it in the description. So I just, we got to take a step back and realize that I believe that the Trump stuff was all distraction this week, and that he's not going to jail. They ain't going to arrest him. Come on now. You think they're going to arrest Donald Trump? And even if he gets arrested, they ain't going to do crap for him. What are they going to do? I thought you couldn't arrest a president. I'm a little confused. That's what I've always been told. Yeah, can't arrest a president. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We don't indict Hillary Clinton. Joe Biden gets away. I mean, they tried to, like I said, impeach Trump for a phone call with Zelensky. This friggin' Joe Biden threatened to withhold aid to Ukraine. Where are all the people that are so up in arms about what's happening in Ukraine now? Where are those people? Why aren't they protesting Joe Biden for what he did back then? Because once again, it's hypocrites. Hypocrites everywhere. This only ends in one way. In my eyes. I think part of all this distraction is just to take away from what's happening in the economy, what's happening with the banks. There is something, we can't see it. We don't know what's happening. Whether it's intentional or, something that finally broke because they kept raising rates. Who knows? But something's definitely happening. And what's scary is if they're going to distract us with the arrest warrant of Donald Trump, that is a big deal. So how big is the thing that they're trying to distract us from? That's the scary part. Look this way. Don't worry about that direction. Let us do our little things in the dark over here, because heaven forbid you shine a spotlight on what's happening in the dark. It's going to be a problem. So, like, share, makes comments. You don't like what I'm saying? Comment. I don't care. Like I said, this is a form of therapy for me. I see these things and just start thinking in my mind, what the F is going on? And I just don't understand how people don't have the same thoughts. And how we even have two sides of the coin when it comes to the people. How we have a left and a right. Because the reality of it, straight down the middle, we should all be sitting in front of the White House with pitchforks saying, this is messed up. You know how you end corruption? I think the last time I said this, I got a strike on YouTube, so I better not say it again. But look up the French Revolution, what the women did when they couldn't feed their children, and what they did to the corrupt politicians. And I think that's how we should handle it. All right, thank you. Like I said, share, like, subscribe, tune into the podcast. Some good stuff on there. Talk a lot of different things on the podcast. A lot of different things. Not mostly, even really not a lot about politics, but a lot of different stuff. We've done 65 episodes or something. So I'm sure there's something on there you can find that you would like. Take a listen. And we have people listen from all over the world. So, all right. See ya.